45 seconds until I go live. I've got all kinds of time. Oh, hey. Hey there, Retro Road Mappers. Maud Betty and her ever-falling hairdo. I think I might be a few minutes early. I think I might have a smudge on my glasses because I was trying to be goofy. Yeah, there's my hair. I don't see any grays. That's a good thing. Okay, so as some of you may have seen, I'm on, right? You're checking, right?
I'm checking.
You know, quality control. Can't get good help these days. All right, somebody's watching. I'm thinking it might be Retro Road Husband or Craig. Nye. In any case, I'm going to kind of hit the ground running today because, yes, Craig, thank you. And I have a special shout out for you, so I really appreciate it. Okay, so Donna, nice to see you. So I don't know if anybody saw my my post about this episode, but so this is the Pennsylvania episode. As I promised, I would try to limit each state to one episode that I guess I'm calling these things. And oh my goodness, I have been challenged actually to fit in so many places in Pennsylvania. There we go, Pennsylvania, because unbeknownst to me when I started this is there are like 66, 67 counties in PA, which means that if I want to mention even just one place per county, I only have less than a minute to tell you about each one of them, and even me talking right now is kind of cramming into those times. Hello, everybody. It is so nice to see everybody. Yes, it's PA Thursday, and I got so charged up when I was researching this for today that I am just all like, there's so many cool places to show you. Because that's one of the reasons why my Retro Road books for Pennsylvania are chunked down into little more manageable sizes. Wow, I'm getting people from all over. Nice to see you, Judson, from the Chicago area. I promise to be doing a Illinois episode at some point. But right now, today, we are talking about Pennsylvania. So yeah, 66, 67 counties, one place before each. I'm going to go alphabetically. I actually have some notes here because it was like the only way I could chunk it down. I started getting overwhelmed, I will be honest with you, and this is kind of a takeaway. This is a little bit on the whole like Maud Betty, just drive your life, how to get stuff done in your life thing. But if you get too overwhelmed with something, like it's too big, I can't handle it, I don't know, overwhelm, chunk it down into little bite-sized pieces. And luckily, the states are typically chunked down into counties. So that is what I have done. Thank you, Jerry, for liking my earrings. Stringing along with me in Portland, Maine. Bettina Clark makes them. They are upcycled guitar strings. I wear them all the time. They're lovely. Yay. Oh, hey, Sarah. So, Brian, check it out. You have a theater in Sayre that I'm going to mention when I get to your county. But without further ado, I am going to hit the ground running, tell you at least one place from each county in Pennsylvania, and hopefully be able to tell you a little bit about each place. Now, I will say, some of these places I have not been to, but they're on my map of places to check out. And I will also confide, there were a few counties that I couldn't find anything. I won't say that I looked like street by street, but if there's any place in Pennsylvania that you want to make sure people know about, people in the comment section right now, but also people when they're watching this once it's archived on Retro Road Map Facebook page and on the YouTube page. Oh crap, they can't do it on the YouTube page. Anyhow, put your PA faves in the comments, because then when people are watching now, they can find out what places you love and you'd love to share it with people. And later on, when other people who can't be on watch, they can look at the comments and find out your places. So it's kind of a win-win for all of us, because it takes all of us to find these places, go to them, love them up, and make sure they stick around. Especially, I mean, for forever anyway, but especially now during these times when so many small businesses aren't able to be open, or they have wacky hours, can only do, or they can only do takeout, etc. Okay, so now I'm going to put down my hand, because I need to pick up my paperwork, and we're going to start. So welcome to the news. Maud Betty telling you about the things that, okay, we're going to start with Adams County. So Adams County, Reese Martin, Oklahoma. Oh, excellent. Oh my God, I'm so excited to see everybody. Nice to see everybody. So I'm just going to start going down alphabetically in PA. I have one place per county. Adams County, PA. Oh, bye, Retro Road Husband. Don't forget to buy me chocolate. Adams County, Hofbrau House in Abbottstown. Old school German restaurant with naughty pine paneling. Totally love that place. Allegheny County. Allegheny County is where Pittsburgh is, so it was hard to choose, but I decided on Clavon's Ice Cream, which is in the Strip District, and it's old school ice cream parlor and soda fountain. Absolutely charming little place that I absolutely love in Pittsburgh. Let me tell you, so hard to pick just one place per county. Can't even tell you. Thank you. It's nice to see everybody chiming in. This is so much fun. Armstrong County. So Armstrong County is in the western part of PA, and that's where we have the Cadet Restaurant. Now, the Cadet Restaurant I like for two reasons. Let me see if I can use this hand. I like it because it's got a giant muffler man out the front, and also I remember having a really good piece of pie there. They had, it's called Graham Cracker Cream Pie, which has since become one of my favorites, so I love that. It's in Kittanning, I can never pronounce it. I was thinking to myself with some of these challenging names of towns and things like that, like if I was on a real TV show, I would probably be able to practice these and somebody could actually tell me how they're pronounced, but I'm kind of winging it here. So that was the Cadet Restaurant in Armstrong County. Beaver County. Now, Beaver County, they had this place, Orham's Donuts. Been there since 1958. Kittanning. Thank you, Valerie. Orham's Donuts in Beaver Falls looks absolutely delicious. As you know, I like to talk about the places that have food, so a lot of food places. Where did we go? Bedford County, PA. Okay, so Bedford County. Bedford itself, just go there. Lots of delights. But if I had to send you to one place in Bedford, or maybe just outside of Bedford, but it's in the county, Lincoln Motor Court in Man's Choice. One of the only old school motor courts left in Pennsylvania, and it's on the Lincoln Highway. Totally adorable. I know some of you have stayed there and you would totally agree with me. Bedford County, Lincoln Motor Court. Berks County. Now, Berks County also has a lot of cool places. We talked a few weeks ago about Roadside America, which is this wonderful old school diorama right down the street from there. So I highly recommend you go there, especially because it's for sale and I don't know how long it's going to be there. But the other place I would love to send you there is Adams and Bright Pharmacy and Soda Fountain in Hamburg, PA. So that is a wonderful place. If you go on the Retro Roadmap Facebook page and look at the TV episodes that we did with my Kickstarter a few years back, we did one there, and it's a charming little place. Moving along in the B section, because there's a lot of these. As I said, I don't mean to disparage any or kind of give some places the short shrift, but we have a lot of stuff to cover. So we're going to continue. Blair County, PA. Now, I don't know if any of you know things like Mallow Cups, and I think they have this, I think they're the ones who make Jimmy Sticks, I'm not sure, but Boyer Candies is in Altoona, and what looks like to me, it looks like they actually have a factory store where you can go to the factory and buy stuff like that, smoothie, peanut butter cups too, and they have that little, like the little cardboard thing that your candy sits on is like play money, which I totally love from back in the day. Yes, Boyer Candy, I just love that. Moving along, yes, so okay, so I apologize, let me see if I can scroll up here, because there's so many wonderful people chiming in. This is awesome. Let me see who we've got here, because I am in Bradford County, PA, which is kind of in the north, almost up near not New Hampshire. This is what I do when I'm trying to multitask here. New York. Ooh, look at that. Gosh, my fingers aren't really that big, just so you know. Yes, so anyhow, Brian, that's it. Thank you. Brian Farr, not sure if you're still in now. That's cool that you live in Mass, because that's where I'm from. But Sayre, PA, I have the Sayre Theater. mentioned right here. And I just lost all the comments. There we go. So yes, I would totally recommend people check out the Sayre Theater when you are in Bradford County. Trucking right along, this is the first one. Let me see what I got here. So we're going to be talking about Bucks County for a hot minute because we're going alphabetically through all the counties in PA, and Bucks comes out next. Bucks is also in the Philadelphia Suburbs Retro Roadmap book. There are so many other places in Bucks County in this book. So if you want to know about Bucks County and the other counties, please buy this book from my website, retroroadmap.com. Shameless plug, but why not? I need to make money. Bucks County, if there's one place I would recommend here, it would be Signs 5 and 10 in Quakertown. I love that place so much. I rave about it. Over 100 years old, family owned and operated, 5 and Dime in downtown Quakertown, still has an original lunch counter where you can go and eat a sundae or like get grilled cheese. Love that place so much. Oh, I'm sorry if somebody doesn't like mallow cups. They're not necessarily my fave, but they're an indigenous candy thing that's not made by a giant conglomerate, so it's got that going for them. Moving along, we're in the BU section, Butler County, the Starlight Drive-In in Butler. So it used to be called, I think, the Pioneer, but the Starlight Drive-In. Interesting thing, you're going to hear me mention a few places in PA. The place I'm highlighting is a drive-in movie theater, and that's because not only do I have a bunch of those on my site and on my own little maps, but last count, PA, I want to say was the second or third, maybe third, how do I want to say this? Pardon me as I stumble. It is the state that has the third highest number of drive-in movie theaters in the entire country. Now, California's up there, and I think New York is the other one, but we've got a lot of drive-in movie theaters here in PA, so woo! So that's a cool thing. So Starlight Drive-In in Butler County, Cambria County. This is, as I just said, Cambria County has the Highway Drive-In movie theater. It has the Silver Drive-In movie theater, and it has the Bar and Drive-In. Now, again, I am not sure that all these places are 100% open or going to be open because of what is going on in the real world out there. But in our heads, all these places are just in hibernation, and they're waiting for us. They're going to be there when we want to go there. We're going to rush out. We're going to spend all our money at these cool vintage places, because that's how we get the kind of world we want to live in, is by spending our money where our hearts are. So that's me on my soapbox. All right, here we are. We're coming up to a county. Take note, Cameron County. I couldn't find anything. So anybody knows Cameron County, let me know about some retro road map worthy places in the comments. Trucking right along, Carbon County. Carbon County, I had to mention two things. One is because I've been mentioning a lot of drive-in movie theaters, the Mahoning Drive-In. They actually have a wonderful documentary about that drive-in movie theater out there. I highly recommend you see it. I think it's available online, really great. Also, I will give a quick shout out if you're getting hungry. Bowmanstown Diner. I love that diner, old school diner, because they asked me whether or not I wanted onions in my my breakfast potatoes, and I didn't, but it was so nice of them to ask. So that's how you get people to recommend you, is by doing something nice like that. We're in Center County. So we're in Center County, Pennsylvania, Penn's Cave. So there's a bunch of these caves. Exactly like a cigarette machine, but with stuff made by local artists. I love those things. Love going to these old-timey caves where you walk in. A bunch of the travel decals I have from PA highlight those. So if you are in Center County, Penn's Cave has been there for over 100, well, it's been longer. It's been there way longer than 100 years, but it's been like a tourist attraction since then. All right, we're moving right along. Oh, we're moving right along to Chester County. Chester County, Pennsylvania, people. That's where Maud Betty lives. She also lives in Phoenixville, PA, and that's where the Colonial Theater is. The Colonial Theater in downtown Pennsylvania, Phoenixville, PA. It's where the movie The Blob was filmed. It is the reason, oh, awesome. It is the reason Maud Betty moved to Phoenixville, and we haven't regretted it a day. Saber Smith, thank you so much for putting the link to the At the Drive-In movie theater in there. You rock. I love that because I can't multitask. I can barely talk and look and read at the same time. I love how everybody is putting in your favorites in here. This is so good. I love this. Yes, keep it going, people. Keep it going. We're all in this together. Clarion County, PA. I have not been there, but there was a place called the Pizza Pub that looked really interesting. I hope it hasn't been renovated because it looked kind of old school on the inside. And I think they were talking about Larry's or Harry's Pizza that they do. Totally want to check that out. Clearfield County, place called Shankle's Pharmacy. I think they have a wonderful neon sign outside. Looks like an old school pharmacy. And it's in, I'm thinking it's Du Bois, but it could be Dubois. I am not sure how they pronounce it. So figure it out. Yep, Blobfest is at the Colonial as well. Trucking right along. And speaking of the theater, Clinton County has the Roxy Theater in Lock Haven. I love it when old school downtown movie theaters and live entertainment theaters are surviving, because we all love to connect like that in places like that. What else have we got? Oh, Columbia County. People, again, there's a few places that I rave about. And this is, Columbia County is where Berwick, Pennsylvania is. And Berwick is where the White Horse Grill is. Look on the Retro Roadmap website, because this is a place that is like a step back into the 1940s. Family run, only open till 11 o'clock in the morning. If you look back, I think I did some posts on my birthday of 2019, because we drove all the way up there to make sure we got there in time for breakfast, because it's such an adorable place that I love. So that is the White Horse in Berwick, PA. Crawford County, Pennsylvania has Connet Lake Park. This is one of those old-timey amusement parks on the side of a lake. Totes adorbs, I think the kids would call it. And I just love little places like that. Now, I know, because he's such an awesome retro road mapper, that Craig Nye is tuning in, and I want to give him a special shout out, because he made sure that I mentioned in Cumberland County, the one place that I've chosen to represent is Eccles in Mechanicsburg. Now, this is a wonderful mom and pop kind of luncheonette and ice cream place, and Craig Nye was telling me about it. We met him there. We had some wonderful food. It is so adorable. Somebody's saying they lost me. I hope not everybody has, but I'm going to keep on going, because that's how Mud Betty, it's what happens with Mud Betty. She trucks along. So Eccles in Mechanicsburg, please go there when they're reopened. I think Craig goes there so often he has a booth almost of his own. So that's all sorts of fun. And moving right along, in Dauphin County, not Dolphin, Dauphin, Phin, the High Spire Diner in High Spire. It is a wonderfully preserved Silk City diner, and it's so just low-key and old school and very chill that I just love representing them, because they're just so sweet. I love that place. Dauphin County, Delaware County. Now, Delaware County, PA, is that? It's so funny. I'm like, is it in my book? Yes, it is. So the Philadelphia Suburbs book is Bucks, Chester. So yeah, the Colonial Theater, as I mentioned in Chester, is in here. Delaware County, or as we like to call it, Delco. So many places to choose from, but I chose the original Thunderbird in Broomall as an homage to our friend, oh my God, now I'm blanking on his name, which is so awful. Anyhow, a friend of ours took us there. They had wonderful pizza. And the more I think about it, the more freaked out I get. I can't remember his name. It's right on the tip of my tongue, and he's buried here in Phoenixville. So anyhow, he knows we love us, right? Anyhow. So yes, I would recommend the original Thunderbird in Broomall. Crap. Adrian Hickman. Yes, thank you, Adrian. So Adrian showed us the original Thunderbird in Broomall, and I think of him every time I go there. Elk County, Pennsylvania. Again, not a place I have been, but they have a place called the Apollo Theater in St. Mary's. Now, who doesn't want to say you're playing the Apollo? You may just have to go to St. Mary's, PA to do it if you don't want to head to Harlem. Trucking right along in the E's. Oh, so this is an interesting thing. Erie County, PA. So big surprise. This is in the upper, where's my map? It's in the upper, like, northwest county of the state, and that's where Erie, Pennsylvania is. And two things I think of for there. I think of the Lawrence Park Diner, or Dinor, because in Erie they pronounce, or they spell, this place spells it D-I-N-O-R for diner, not D-I-N-E-R. So that's Lawrence Park Diner. But then also, it's kind of fake, like Hollywood type of throwback, but Erie, PA is where the Oneaters, or the Wonders from That Thing You Do, are originally supposed to be from. So if you like that movie, That Thing You Do, or if you've never seen it, it's one of Maud Betty's absolute favorites. They're doing something tomorrow night on YouTube about it that I don't know, I'm going to tune in. I don't know what it's about, but I just love that movie so much. So yes, so that's in Erie County, PA. Fayette County, Pennsylvania. So this is where we go into a little bit of what I call mid-mod map. So Maud Betty created Retro Roadmap, which is the places I'm talking about now, but I also have a little side project that I call Mid-Mod Map, which is mid-century modern places. A little bit more kind of, not formal, but like you don't typically go into places and eat, but you are able to go in and tour around. And so Fayette County is where Falling Water is. So Fayette is just south of Pittsburgh, Fayette County. Falling Water, the famous, internationally famous house built by, and designed by, he probably didn't build it himself, Frank Lloyd Wright. So Kentuck Knob and Falling Water are in Fayette County, PA. So there are a lot of really neat mid-century modern places in Pennsylvania too. Maybe I'll do an episode of those. But I would go there. All right. Coming up, yes, Waldemere Park. I was going to mention those because a friend of ours, again, who sadly passed, he donated his Fascination games to them. Trying to pick only one place per county is tough. I'm telling you, it's like, how can you pick your favorite? I could try to pick my favorite in these two counties. I'm going to lump these two together because I get nothing. Forest County, Pennsylvania. Anybody? I would love to hear if there's a Retro Road Map worthy place there. Also, Fulton County. Fulton County sounds like a place I should have stuff to go on, but I don't. But we're going to talk about Franklin County, PA. So this is neat. So Franklin County has Chambersburg, and there are a bunch of places I could mention in Chambersburg, so you should just go there anyway. But when you're in Chambersburg, look for the Lincoln Highway Memorial Marker. There's a memorial marker on a certain street that shows where in 1928 the Lincoln Highway went through town. Now the cool thing is, so check me out. So that was like the first page, right? That was like 20 minutes. Oh, actually, 20 minutes per page. Well, I'll keep on trucking and then we'll talk about some other fun things about PA if I have any leftover time. Now I feel like I'm talking about like Rosanna Dana, so I'm just going to keep on going, okay? So now we're in Greene County, Greene with an E at the end. And here's another drive-in movie theater. In Carmichael, they have one called the Skyview. Now this one made me think of the fact that when I was growing up, there was a Skyview a number of towns over, and I just wonder what like the top 10 names for drive-in movie theaters are. I'm thinking there could be one like in every state maybe that's called the Skyview, because you're there and you're viewing the sky, so might as well call it the Skyview. That is in Greene County, PA, and Carmichael's. Huntingdon County, Pennsylvania, not Huntington, Huntingdon, is Top Steiner and Catering. Now this looks like a fun place. Again, haven't been there, but by all accounts looks like an authentic vintage diner on the inside. And who doesn't love an authentic vintage diner? Indiana County, PA. So this is neat, and this isn't your typical, I'm telling you, places to go and eat or go to the drive-in movie theaters. You'll hear certain themes like that, but when I was putting together this list, I've tried to inject some things, this list right here. I tried to inject some things that were or are kind of unusual. And the next two are unusual. So Indiana County, PA, check this out. That's where Jimmy Stewart grew up. You know, Mary. I can't believe I said that. Anyhow, Jimmy Stewart, I believe, is from Indiana, Pennsylvania, and there is a Jimmy Stewart Museum, or a James Stewart Museum, in the library there. Very adorable. So we went there. It's great. So Indiana County, PA, in Indiana, Pennsylvania. And then in Jefferson County, PA, that's where Punxsutawney Phil is from. You know, that little rodent that tells us whether it's going to be spring or not, Groundhog Day, Punxsutawney. So why not make a road trip of it and head to Jefferson County, PA, and go and check out where Punxsutawney Phil is. Juniata, is it Juniata or Juniata? I've been studying my Espanol on an app recently with all the stuff that's going on, trying to occupy my time. I'm thinking it's Juniata. It's Juniata County, PA, and I didn't find anything there. So if anybody knows, okay, that's good to know. I love these comments. Keep it going, people. So yeah, nothing in Juniata, but Lackawanna County. Not for lacking in Lackawanna. That's where Scranton is. Scranton, where the office was I guess allegedly like based. And again, many places, a number of diners there, some really cool old school places. But I want to recommend to you the Lackawanna Station Hotel, and that's because that is actually a hotel that used to be an old glamorous train station. And I love it when people adaptively reuse classic, wonderful old buildings like train stations into something cool. So a friend of mine just posted about one in Cincinnati. So when we talk about Ohio in a couple of weeks, or maybe next week, I'm not sure when we're going to get to Ohio, but we will. But that is the Lackawanna Station Hotel in Scranton that I would highly recommend. Yes, and the Houdini Museum is there. I have not been to the Houdini Museum. Maybe it has disappeared. Maybe it's locked up in a box underwater. I'm not sure. I haven't been there, but I've heard cool things about it. All right. Lancaster County. Lancaster, not Lancaster. Lancaster. Again, a number of places I could recommend, and I'm kind of cheating on this one because I'm going to tell you like one block to go to in Lancaster proper, which is the North 300 block of North Queen Street. And that's because there are so many cool little shops there with the nicest shop owners you'll ever meet. We've got my Aunt Debbie who does crafts. You've got Telltale Dress. You've got the Scarlet Willow right around the corner, technically not on the street anymore. You've got Space with Jessie who does some mid-century modern things, Madcap and Company. So if there's one place you want to go to in Lancaster or Lancaster that has a lot of cool stuff of the vintage persuasion, it's the 300 block of North Queen Street in Lancaster itself. Already on the L's. Where are we? Lanc, L-A-N-C. There we go. Lawrence County. Lawrence County looks like there's a really cool Scottish Rite Cathedral in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. That looks really cool. I love old buildings like that. And they typically, places like that will usually do some interesting programming, maybe some live music, things like that. So the Scottish Rite Cathedral in Newcastle, PA looks intriguing. Lebanon County, Pennsylvania is also another one where I struggled because there's a number of things that I would recommend there. But the one place I'm going to mention to you is I'm going to recommend because it's so cute, it's so old school, and you might miss it if I didn't. Pink brick building, and it they make pretzels there, and it's only open a few days a week. Once they've sold all the pretzels, they close down. Yes, you could get Lebanon bologna. Back in the day, I went to Seltzer's in Lebanon, but Lebanon bologna is an acquired taste, but I think many people like pretzels. But yeah, try it all when you're there. I mean, go there. Use this as an excuse to go to Lebanon County, and then you can go to Shuey's. You could go get some opera fudge downtown at Wertz's Candies. You could go to Mel's Diner and get some, like a BLT, because I love a BLT, all sorts of things. So this might get you there, and then go scoop it around yourself. Moving into Lehigh County, again, alphabetically through all 67 counties in Pennsylvania, one place per county, because there's so many wonderful things I want to share, but so many more just from the counties. So where was I? Lost my track of thought. Lehigh County. So Lehigh County is where Shankweiler's Drive-In is. Again, another drive-in movie theater, but this one is super special because it is the oldest running, operating movie theater, drive-in movie theater in the entire country. It used to be the very first one that was opened in the late 1930s was over in Camden County, PA, New Jersey. That is closed. So Shankweiler's was the second, and now it's bumped up to first. So go there when they reopen because they're also for sale as well. So that is in Lehigh County, PA. Luzerne County, this is one of my all-time favorite places, and I thought it was actually going to be in Wyoming County because it's in Wyoming, Pennsylvania. And this is Victory Pig. Victory Pig Barbecue, or I call it Victory Pig Pizza. Because they have this crazy Northeast Pennsylvania NEPA style pizza, Old Forge style. So to people who have never had it, they usually equate it to like the Elios, like the square things and cut up into rectangles. Rectangles, not rectangles, rectangles. And it is so delicious. They have many places there that serve it. They call it a tray because you serve it on a tray, and instead of a slice, you get a cut. So that's some local lingo, but my favorite place to get it is at Victory Pig. And they're crazy too because they're open like 3 days a week. Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, maybe open till 4:30 to 11. So it's quirky, but I love it. Okay, that's in Luzerne County. Oh, Lycoming County, PA. Now, this is a place I've never been to, but oftentimes people ask me, like how I find these places, like retro roadmap worthy places. And it's often, I don't say a crapshoot, but like I sometimes know about places and people recommend them to me. And other times, literally, I will see a picture that somebody will post on Flickr or Instagram of like an old time facade or a sign. And this is totally how I found out about the Rosenkrantz Bakery in Montoursville, because they have a wonderful old school exterior that makes you realize just from those clues, like the signage and the outside, that business has been around for a long time. Yes, Berks County, the pagoda is a very cool place. As I said, so hard for me to try to pick one place. So keep on filling them in, people. Yep, there's so many places to go. But the Rosenkrantz Bakery in Montoursville. Now again, I haven't been there, but when I'm in Montoursville or in Lycoming County, I'm going to totally check that out. McKean County, there's a Main Street movie house in Bradford, PA that looks interesting. Mercer County has the Thornton Hall bowling lanes in Sharon. I love bowling. Bowling is one of those. I'm bad at it, and technically, I like the bowling alleys better than I like the game. I am always like waiting to be over and rolling the ball so I can go and take pictures of the place. But it's such an old school sport. You got to have it in there. And old school bowling alleys have a soft spot in my heart. I even have bowling shoes. I should wear them sometime. But that's the Thornton Hall bowling lanes in Sharon, PA. Okay, here's another place that I've never been, but I like the look of the outside of the place, so I put it on my list. Is in Mifflin County. There is Lewistown. There's a place called the Lascaris Restaurant. And when I put notes in on I have Google Maps that I've created that have all these pins on it that I can go check. My note on this one was hot dogs and rice pudding. Now, I don't necessarily suggest you eat them at the same time, but they are things I guess they're famous for. So yeah, that's the Lascaris Restaurant in Lewistown. Google it, see if the pictures, and you'll know why I put it on my map. Monroe County, PA. A couple of really cute places up there, but I kind of love the Holly Ross Pottery in Cresco. They make their own old school pottery right there, but they also have fiesta ware and all sorts of fun things like that. And it's a neat, fun, old school place to shop. Like if you were on vacation, going to the Poconos, this would be a place that I would stop and go to, is the Holly Ross Pottery in Cresco, which is in Monroe County. Montgomery County, PA. Again, I'm showing you this book because this is where all of my favorites are from Montgomery County, but I could only pick one for this episode. And the place I picked, oh, actually, I think that's it right there. I picked Lou's. So Lou's Sandwiches in Norristown, I am giving them some Facebook Live love here for a couple of reasons. One is that Norristown used to be a glamorous town, and it has fallen on hard times, and which is really so sad because there's some great people who live there. I actually take line dancing lessons there when we're not under quarantine. I take line dancing lessons there on Mondays at the Holy Savior, little South Philly line dancing, if anybody wants to join me. But just a few storefronts down from the Holy Savior Club is Lou's. Now, Lou's Sandwiches is kind of like that old school downtown sandwich shop that has a counter, and it's got some really small booths, and it's like it's a mecca for local people to go and see what's going on and connect with themselves. Remember before all this quarantine where we could go to places and actually connect up with people? So to me, Lou's is famous for that, especially with the older set. And also because they did, not that they invented it, but they are famous for this regionally known sandwich called the Zepp or the Zeppelin, but the Zepp is like a Norristown thing. Talk about like indigenous foodstuffs that are only known in a tiny little area. Like I talked about Lebanon, PA, they've got their Lebanon bologna and they've got their opera fudge. Well, in the Norristown area, they've got a Zepp, which is like a hoagie or a submarine sandwich. And it's got, if I can remember this correctly, like cooked salami, tomato, onion, and maybe a cheese, but I'm not sure, but no lettuce. And it's really, it's delicious. So I would get one of those at Lou's. Lou's also has this great sign on the front of it, and it's got that famous 1920s actor whose name escapes me at the moment. I have it in the book. I probably can't find it, but it says, "Please pass me one of those delicious sandwiches." And oh yeah, it's got the big. Let me see if you can see it right here. See right there. See the guy with the thing. That's named after a famous. That's after a famous guy right there. But he wants you to pass him one of those delicious sandwiches at Lou's in Norristown, which is on Montgomery County. All right. I think we're making pretty good time, people. This is exciting. I apologize for rushing through it all, but I would rather rush through and so where were we? We're in Montco is also what they call Montgomery County. Montour County. This is a place I think Craig Nye, you told me about, and I had it on my map as well. Biters, Beiters department store in Danville. Total old school throwback to that kind of walking into Woolworths when you were a kid. Even smells the same, and I mean that in such a good way. It's like a combination of like, I don't know, like mothballs and gerbil shavings and like candles and sachets. I don't know, all these things. Hey, Erin Riley, nice to see you. Yay, all sorts of friendly things. And I saw Lola signing on too. Lola, I hope you're feeling better. Lola's got the COVID, you guys, so let's all send her some good, strong love to get healthy again. So thank you for showing up. So that's Biters department store in Danville. Going to an old school Woolworth, Woolco. Moving along, now we're in the ends, so we're like kind of on the halfway point of the alphabet. Northampton County, PA, the Daisy Restaurant in Wind Gap. Such a cute place. You can get a delicious burger there. They even have a phone booth outside, and the phone in the phone booth still works. I tried to get Retro Road Husband to call me from the phone booth to my cell phone when we were there. He didn't have any change, but the Daisy Restaurant in Wind Gap is adorable. And it's I can't remember what the highway is that goes through Wind Gap right there, but literally you get off of this highway and all of the chains are going to try to lure you there and get your food money, but you're going to know to go to the Daisy that's just barely a mile down the street, and you're going to have such an awesome burger there. So anyhow, that is the Daisy Restaurant in Wind, Northumberland County, PA. I'm going to send you to Sunbury, because there's this tiny little narrow place called the Squeeze Inn. The Squeeze Inn is literally about the size, like it literally has a counter with some stools fixed on the ground, and then the wall that's behind you is literally the outside wall of the next building over. But it is a great place for hot dogs. The thing I actually love about them is I had some really delicious, I think they were butter beans, really gigantic, like it was like baked beans, but they were big, flat ones. And I just love that place. I will go there anytime I can get to it. Perry County, Pennsylvania. I was going to tell you about the Red Rabbit Drive-In, which I kind of just did. But the one place I would love to send you is the old Sled Works in Duncannon, because our good friend, oh crap, now I can picture his name. Oh, I'm doing bad with the names, people. I apologize. I thought I was going to be talking about places. Jimmy Rosen, because he's the one who took me to the Squeeze Inn first. He owns the old Sled Works, and it's a kind of a combination of a like an antiques place and an arcade, and he has these crazy collections of old cars and stuff like that. And he is kind of a kindred spirit as far as loving the old school places. And so if you go there, introduce yourself to Jimmy, tell him Maud Betty sent you, and you'll definitely have something to talk about. But yeah, the Red Rabbit with the bunny dust on your fries, so good, so good. So that was Perry County. All right, Philadelphia County, Philadelphia. As you can tell, Philadelphia and Philadelphia County, there's a whole book. Wrote a whole book on them. But I'm only going to pick one place. Ooh, Nellie Ray's Kitchen. That sounds good. So Philadelphia County, if there was only one place that I could send you, it would be to the old Wanamaker building in downtown Philly. It is now a Macy's, but I'm not sending you there to shop. No, no, no. I'm sending you there so that you can not only listen to the Wanamaker organ, but you can also take a tour of the Wanamaker organ in the Wanamaker building in downtown Philadelphia. It is one of the 2 largest existent pipe organs in the world. The other one is in New Jersey. We talked about it on Tuesday at Boardwalk Hall. But the Wanamaker organ is amazing. So if there's only one place I would send you in Philly, I would send you there. But luckily, I don't have to just send you one other place because the Philadelphia book has all sorts of other places you can go to too. So again, little commercial break here. If you want to buy one of these, retroroadmap.com shop, and I will send it to you. And I can even, if I send it to you, I can actually even autograph it to you if you like. So you just have to put that in your order. So that is Philadelphia County. Another place I want to make sure to highlight is in Pike County. Pike County is in like the northeast portion of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is pretty rectangular. Is the Village Diner in Milford. So the Village Diner in Milford is such a lovely, authentic vintage diner. It's got heart like you wouldn't believe. It's got good food, and the people who own it are actually just wonderful people. And this is the day I'm blanking on names because I didn't think I was going to talk about people, just places. So you know who you are, and you're so great, and I love you, and I'll just mention you the next time because I can't remember your name. See, if this was a real TV show, then we'd probably be like, cut, quick, get her name, and fix her nose and stuff like that. Me, powder my nose, and then we would take 2. I think this would make a fun TV show, don't you, though? If anybody knows anybody in real life TV, send them my way. Let's do this for every state. Let's get everybody in the country so freaking excited about supporting their local mom and pops and their cool vintage places that they are like revving to go as soon as we're all released from home, and then we all go spend our money in the places that we love. Okay? That's what I say. Moving right along. Okay, so Potter County, Pennsylvania. This is kind of up on the north side in kind of the middle. And there is a place, it's the Classics Vintage RV Park. Now it's it's kind of your standard RV park. However, they have a place called the Classics where they have a few vintage campers that you can rent out. And check this out. They have one called the Betty, and it's a 1966. It's not a Saroscotty, so it's very similar to me. It's not the Saroscotty like we have, but you can spend time in a couple of vintage campers right there. So that's the Classics RV Park in Roulette, Pennsylvania. So now that's interesting. Usually a left-hand band of thumb, you get your shape of pencil. I'm so backwards here. Yeah, I see kind of what you mean. Yeah. All I know is like Massachusetts, like this is Cape Cod. But that was a good one. And yes, I saw Donna Wilhelm. I saw you mentioned the Victor Cafe, which I love. That is in my book. Such an old school, lovely place. So very good. We're like minds, people. This is great. All right, moving right along. Schuylkill County. Now, this is a word that is a challenge to spell, but I swear, because we're walking on the Schuylkill Trail almost every day because of this quarantine, that I'm going to be determined to learn how to spell it before all this is done. Ooh, the sun just came out. Anyhow, Schuylkill County, PA. The Blue Tavern Restaurant and Motel in Pottsville. So 2 things. One is Blue is just BLU. It's got a cool old sign out the front. And also they are famous for supposedly introducing pizza to that neck of the woods. This is actually in Pottsville, is kind of up in the middle-ish of the state. Pottsville's other claim to fame or clam to fame is that's where Yingling beer is from. But Pottsville, not Pottstown. Pottsville is on the hill. Pottstown is further down. So that's the Blue Tavern Restaurant and Motel in Pottsville. I cannot comment at all on the motel aspect of it. I don't know. I would just check it out as a restaurant and go from there. Snyder County, PA. This is a place that I went to with Jimmy Rosen from the old Sled Works in Duncannon. He took me to, and this is where I'm going to probably swallow my tongue, but Middlesworth Potatoes Chips in Middlesburg, PA. Middlesworth. This is great because this is actually where they make the potato chips. And when you go to their like factory store, it's literally you're opening the door to their office. Like you go in and there's somebody sitting at at a desk, probably doing accounting. And then there's a window where you can go and look at see them making the potato chips. And then they're like, so do you want any? And then you can pick out some potato chips and they'll put them in a little box for you when you're all set. They will have, actually, they're in bags. They don't like just scoop them off, but wouldn't that be good? Hot off the presses or whatever. But that's the Middlesworth potato chips in Middlesburg, PA. You can also get those at the shops, but if you want to have a fun destination, have an excuse to get out on a beautiful day and just drive, go to Snyder County, PA, go to Middlesworth in Middlesburg. Totally, now we're talking about, again, because we're going alphabetically, so this is kind of pip-popping along in the entire state of Pennsylvania. It's not in region order because now we're out in Somerset County. So Somerset County is out near Pittsburgh as well. And if you get off of the PA Turnpike in Somerset County, in Somerset, PA, right off of that highway exit is the Summit Diner. Not to be confused with the Summit Diner in Summit, New Jersey. And also, I think, Craig Nye, you mentioned this up thread. I have to catch up on some of these comments, everybody. But thank you so much for chiming in with your favorite things. But the Summit Diner is there, and it's one of those good places that, like, if you're hungry on the road and you want to go to an old school place, but you don't want to go like too far off of the road because you're what I like to call hangry, like you're like, I just need some food. That's a really good place to go to in Somerset County. We're on the last page. It's not even full. We've got some S's here. So it looks like I'll be able to get through all of these, and we can talk about some other PA stuff. But yeah, so let's keep it going. Now we're in Sullivan County, Pennsylvania. Sullivan County is kind of in the middle as well. And there's this wonderful little town that people keep on recommending me to check out, Eaglesmere. I've not been there, but I've heard that there's a wonderful auto museum there. And I think that's just so curious. I have a friend who actually wrote a book. Do I have it? It's not easily accessible. If you like auto museums, there's a book somebody wrote that's all about Michael. See, I'm screwing up everybody's name today. But if you want, there's a book out there that I can recommend all about all sorts of auto museums you can go to. But this is the one in Eaglesmere. It's in Sullivan County. And yeah, this might be pretty quick because, ooh, I hear potato chips. Yes, oh, they have graham cracker pie at the Summit. Ooh, that's good to know. I love graham cracker pie. Oh, it's such a PA thing that I never heard of until I moved down here, and now I'm obsessed. Susquehanna County. I don't know why. Sounds like a county I would have something on my list for, but I don't. So if you know of anything in Susquehanna County that's retro roadmap worthy being cool, authentic, vintage place that's been around 50 to 60 years, if not more, that when you walk in, you get that kind of step back in time feeling. Those are the places I love the most. Speaking of, Tioga County. Tioga County, Wellsboro, PA in Tioga County. If I just send you there, you're going to find all sorts of places. You're going to find a diner, you're going to find a downtown department store, an old school movie house, all sorts of little things. I would, if there was one place I had to send you in Wellsboro, it would be the diner. It is a wonderfully preserved, busy, classic old school diner with the best sticky buns I've ever had, ever. So good. That is the Wellsboro Diner in Tioga County, PA. Union County, PA. Now this might be a little bit quirky. Yes, actually you're right. The PA Grand Canyon is there as well. So Union County, Pennsylvania. Now I'm not sure what you would find when you get here, but I have to recommend this because it was so neat. Union County has a place called Metropolitan Restoration Services. Now that may sound kind of boring until you realize that these Metropolitans that they restore are those cute little Nash Metropolitan cars that are so small you could probably like tuck one in your pocket. There's some pictures of me in one, I think, on the InstaWebs or something like that. But I love the fact that there's a place in Sullivan County. No, sorry, wrong county. Cut, take two. In Union County, PA, in Hartleton, the Metropolitan Restoration Services, because the only other place that I know of that focuses on Nash Metropolitans is out in like Hollywood in Los Angeles, California. So Los Angeles, California, and Hartleton, PA. Venango County, looks like there's a place called Clark's Donuts. I wasn't able to kind of pinpoint them because they've got a few locations, but all I knew is I started to get really hungry because their donuts looked delicious. That's out in Venango County, PA. So if you know that area, maybe pop that in the comment section. Now we're in the W's. Oh yeah, Warren County. Didn't find anything for Warren County, which is in Western PA. But the next one, Washington County, PA, Shorty's Lunch. Shorty's Lunch in Washington, Pennsylvania. Again, I have not been there, but when I've seen pictures, first of all, even just the fact that they call it a lunch, like I love it when lunch is used as like a noun and not a verb and not a meal, but a place. Like it's a luncheon, it's a luncheonette, it's a lunch. I just love that. And looking at pictures of Shorty's Lunch in Washington, PA, it looks like that kind of old school place. They've got counter seats affixed to the floor. They've got these crazy kind of backs to them so you don't have to be hunched over all the time. They've got some wooden booths around there, and I wouldn't be surprised, this is just a guess, but maybe they're famous for their hot dogs or something. So that's Shorty's Lunch in Washington, PA. Wayne County, Pennsylvania, I believe that's more in like the Poconos area again. The Alpine Wurst and Meat House. I was going to make a joke about it being the best worst house, but I won't do that because I'm not a punster. I just play one on TV. Oh, and this is a wonderful place because I wasn't sure what county this was in, but in Westmoreland County, PA. In Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Now, some of you who used to drink beer in the 80s and 90s may remember Rolling Rock beer, which has since been bought out by a conglomerate, but at the time, it came from the glass-lined barrels of old Latrobe. They tendered a premium beverage, something like that. But anyhow, in Latrobe, PA, it also has this wonderful place called the Lincoln Highway Experience. It is a wonderful kind of museum experience place where you can learn all about the Lincoln Highway. I actually was scheduled to do a presentation there in a few months, and sadly, with all that's going on, I didn't. They had to cancel it because we're not sure if anybody can leave their houses. But it's such a darling little place that you can learn about the Lincoln Highway. And check this out, people. They actually have a legitimate old school, full-sized diner on the inside. It's called Cerro's Diner. And the crazy thing is, it's called Cerro's Diner. And it used to be owned by the same company who owned Cerro's Scotties, who made my... the camper out in our garage. That's why I'm pointing that way, because that's where the garage is. But how cool and old school is that? But when you have the opportunity, stop by, tell Olga that Maud Betty sent you at the Lincoln Highway Experience in Latrobe, which is in Westmoreland County. Ooh, and I've only got 2 more counties left, and then I actually have a few more minutes, so we can talk. Yes, Mr. Rogers is from out there too. I know. I love him. Mr. Rogers, I'm trying to be a helper. I think by me doing these videos, I'm hoping that this is how I'm helping, distracting us from the craziness and instead focusing on where we can go when we're all released. So 2 more places to send you, and I love this. Wyoming County, PA, as I said, not the Victory Pig in Wyoming, PA, but Wyoming County looks like it's got a place called the Dietrich Theater, and it's another name I'm going to mangle, the Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania. Tunkhannock. I love these strange names. And then the last place I will leave you with, just on my map, but I mean on my list here, is another one that's near and dear to my heart. It's in York County, the last one alphabetically, and it is Haynes Shoe House. Now, I love the shoe house for so many reasons. First of all, it is a house in the shape of a shoe, built by Malin Haynes in the early part of the 20th century, basically as a promotional gimmick for his shoe stores. And it has always been one of those icons of like the, programmatic architecture and those buildings that were built to look like something else. The other reason I love this place so much, we did a retro roadmap video there a couple of years ago when I did my Kickstarter. And I was blessed enough to meet with Melanie Schmuck and her husband, who had just recently purchased the shoe house, and they were doing wonderful things with it. They got a little bakery going and like the little insole, and they were doing up the inside and really giving it some love. Now, the shoe house is still open, so please go there when they open up, when everything else opens up, when we're not all inside. But the sad thing is that Melanie herself passed away last year. I think it was last spring. She wasn't even 40 years old, people. She was like, it was a very unexpected thing. And I say this to just kind of remind you and me and all of us, like, we're not going to be around for forever in neither of these places. And I think we're being reminded of that pretty much every day with this virus. But I know this sounds weird. I'm going to leave on a happy note, but I will say this. To me, death is a great motivator, because it reminds you to be like, get the F on the F. Like, go do the things, because we're not going to be around forever. And in a way, that's a nice motivator to get you up and running. And even if you can't go out right now, well, you can go for a walk and stuff like that. But these videos are meant to not make you feel like, oh, bummer, we're trapped now. What this is to do is to encourage you to make a plan so that when you head out and you spend your money and your time on the road, that you are enjoying the ride and you are discovering places that you want. But if you want to guarantee that you're going to go to like a cool old place, that I've already done the work for you, and I love doing the research. This is what it brings me joy. I was researching this stuff this morning, and when I got up from my computer, I had been sitting poorly on my leg so long that like my leg fell asleep, and I was in the hallway. It was kind of hysterical. But I get into this so much because I love it. It gets me excited. But then I know that I'm sending you guys to all good places. So you can go on the road and like kind of more efficiently but still fun, find the places, like, say, oh, I know that when we head to Hamburg, PA, it's going to be a fun place to go to. Always call up to make sure places are still open. That's always a thing I forget to do, and I've been bit more than once about it. But yeah, so check it out, everybody. So excited. So that was my 60 plus places in Pennsylvania that are cool and retro roadmap worthy. Now you might understand why some of my books aren't just one book per state, because think about it. So these are basically 5 counties right here, and I've joked that like the PA book would have taken me X many years to do, and it would be like as thick as a dictionary, but then I would have to go and check everything. Once I got it done, I'd have to go recheck and see if things were still open. So yay, it's so good to hear from all of you. I'm so glad to hear, Dawn and everybody, that you're excited to hit the road. And please, here's the thing. The best thing we can do is keep our vibe high, and during these times, during all times anyway, but especially when things are scary on the outside, keep some sunshine in your heart, because that will keep you going. That will make your days feel better. They will make you want to do stuff, and because when you're feeling crappy, it doesn't do you any good. So I share these places with you. I will share, as I said, as long as we are in quarantine, and even after that, I will commit to you that I will do a Facebook Live for every single one of the states in the contiguous U.S. and Alaska and Hawaii, so that we can all remind ourselves of the good places out there that we want to go spend our time and our money, and spend our money where our hearts are, because these are the kinds of places that when we go out into the world again, personally, these mom and pop independent places that have survived the decades are the places that I want to see the world filled with. I won't cry a tear if many big box stores close, I'll be honest with you, but I would be really sad if a mom and pop business didn't survive this time. And I think because you've tuned in, you feel this way too. So let's do our part. Let's feel like we are, just putting our monies where our mouths are, and not just giving it lip service and then go ordering things from Amazon. Like, let's be the kind of people that we're proud of every day, but especially when this whole thing is over and we realize that we have the opportunity to create a world that we are excited to live in again. So it's just about 4 o'clock here Eastern Standard Time. Again, I want to thank every one of you for tuning in. I cannot wait to sign off so I can look at some of the comments everybody has chimed in with. I love that everybody has put in some comments and I see some interaction, because that means connection and community here. And also it means that the people who were not able to tune in now because for whatever reason will also be able to see your help when they tune in to the archived version of this. So awesome. Thank you. Next Tuesday is going to be the next one. And I think since we're going geographically, I feel like we should do Delaware first. It probably won't take an hour to do Delaware, but we'll do Delaware, and maybe I'll see if we do like a Delaware, and then we'll do something else fun. We'll just mix it up. How's that? Okay. So, thank you, Jerry. Well, that sounds like a wonderful sentiment to close on. So just, you know what, everybody, go take a walk, appreciate the good, and let's be the best versions of ourselves we can be. Okay?